Welcome to the Wellness Dentist Podcast. Join biological and cosmetic dentist Dr. Katie Toe as she explores holistic wellness through trending ideas, real stories, and patient experiences. This podcast will inspire you to make healthy lifestyle choices and take charge of your dental wellness. And now your host, the Wellness Dentist, Dr. Katie Toe.
Welcome to the Wellness Dentist Podcast, Oral Health for Longevity. I'm Dr. Katie Toe, and today I have a very special guest because we've been talking about this episode for a long time. Someone that I consider family and been working with each other almost 10 years. This is our year 9 together, and we would be like, wow, that's a long time. And we love to sit down and talk about how wellness affecting both of us in this journey, because we witnessed how wellness impacting our life and change and transform our life. And of course, a lot of people are asking, like, how did you guys know each other and how long you've been working? So this is going to answer a lot of these questions and a lot of wellness takeaway. So stay tuned. And I want you to welcome Louis. Hi, Louis.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Katie. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's just an honor to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yes. So I know a lot of people be like, when they see you traveling with me at conferences, when I'm speaking or coming to the practice, and everyone was like, Louis, you know, like you are official team member, even though you are like remote.
Yeah.
Most of the time. People always like, how did you guys know each other? He lived in Austin. Your practice is in Katy. So you wanna tell that story?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll jump in there. One of my favorite stories, honestly. So I was looking to get into freelance videography, and so I had made a listing for my work on a website that is essentially, the way I describe it, is like a almost like a Craigslist, but for creatives. Thumbstack. Yeah. And so me being in my field, you looking for someone in that field, we were able to connect there. And what was pretty awesome for me was you were one of the first people to ever contact me through the website. As a matter of fact, I tell this story a lot. I think I may have done one other project through Thumbtack, but I stopped using it, interestingly enough. So I jumped on it for a short season, met you, and the rest is history. Dr. Katie was looking for someone to do a video on a Project Smile, a makeover story of a young guy that was just in need. And when I heard what you were doing and why you were doing it, I was sold. I was like, whatever she's doing, I want to be a part of. Like, that's some pretty awesome stuff. I love storytelling. And so Dr. Katie was doing this as a gift to this young man. And so that drew me in right away. And I just knew, like, whatever she's doing, like, I want to know more about it. I got to be a part of this. I got to hear more about this. And so, yeah, that was our first project together. And here we are 9 years later. So,
yeah. And I think a lot of people don't know that we actually connecting on like a charity project. I got a call from the Greater Houston Dental Society, which is where I was serving as a board member. And there was like there's this young man, he's in a lot of pain. He was so afraid that this infection is going to, cripple him, that he could not go to work, and he had like a lot of children depend on him as a single father. And I said, okay, just send him over. And I look at the case and I'm like, oh my God, he needs attention ASAP.
Wow.
But the society, the dental society, also want us to document the case, so asking for dentists to do these charity case in their practice, because during that time we were doing a Veteran Smile Day or Give Kid a Smile Day, but it's a one day a year, and not everyone can wait a year to get the dental work done as a charity. And so we were like, let's do that, and encouraging other dentists to offer the service and helping their community. Any time of the year. Doesn't have to be that one day a year that we organize through the society.
Yeah.
And so when I was looking to who's going to help me document this journey, I mean, I'm talking to, you're not the first videographer that we contacted, but a lot of people were very transactional.
Yeah.
Oh, you want how many minute, how many visit? And what are you trying to do? And I'm like, this is a charity case, and we just want to create awareness and a call to action to dentists to help the community. And so when I look on Thumbstack and I reach out to you, not only that you are like, yeah, I'm in, like what you're doing is awesome, but you drove all the way from Austin and this not ask for any payment. He's like, I'm just doing this with you as this project. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this person, I want to be in my circle. I want to work with him no matter what. And Lewis did an amazing job telling the story. And we actually still showing that story on our YouTube, on our website. And the recipient of that project still in touch with us, and his life changed.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
He got a new job. He's been able to take better care of his family financially, and he was so grateful. And the crazy thing is, you think people don't take care of what they're receiving from this kind of project. He take great care of his, dental work, and he appreciative. And he he moved to about an hour and a half away from here, still coming to see us and contact me if you have any questions about dental care for his children. So it's almost like become a lifelong relationship where you can help people. And so I appreciate Lewis for the talent and the ability to capture the story. Because I remember he was emotional. He was almost crying on the video when we interview him, the impact that changed his life.
Yeah.
So not just document it, but tell the story. And so I'm very grateful for Lewis. And that gave me another idea of you have to do more video content.
Yes. And I would say to that, a lot of times as a videographer, as a storyteller, sometimes you're showing up to a place where you feel like you're having to craft the story yourself because you're trying to find the creative angles of how to tell this story. And sometimes it's a struggle, truthfully. But what blew me away about what you were doing here, and especially what you were doing in Brandon's life, is that I felt like I was more here just being a fly on the wall and just capturing a moment as it is. And the beauty of it is that what people saw in that story is like, that's how you are every day with your patients. That's how you treat people every day here at your practice. And so it was really unique for me to come to a place and just be able to watch this incredible story unfold. And I don't have to direct or craft or guide anything. What you saw is really how things happen. And that was one of the best parts about doing that story. So yeah, thank you. It's still one of my favorite stories we got to do here.
Thank you, Louis. And I always tell people, like, if you meet me on socials or in persons, offline, online, on-state, off-state, it's the same person.
That's right.
Talk a lot, talk really fast, and really high energy.
Yeah.
But if you meet Lewis and work with Lewis, because I have a lot of dental professional and colleague that get an opportunity to work with Lewis in their practice or on different projects or different events, they always surprised that he only treat you special. No, he treat everyone he working with the utmost care and always doing the best job, always super polite, super professional. And so that's authenticity for me. It's like no matter where you are, you're the same person.
Yeah.
Because that's who you are. So I love that about you, Louis.
Well, thank you, Dr. Katie. We're on the same page there. I think we knew from day one, really, that I know I sensed it. I think later on you shared some of that as well, but it was really cool to meet someone that you have a lot of the same values in, do a lot of things that maybe don't make sense. Truthfully, I even think back, and I almost had forgot. I was telling my wife the other day when you mentioned that, that our first interaction and how, I think I had offered like, hey, like, I just love what you're doing. Like, I just want to be a part of it. Like, I'm okay to help out, because I was really that blown away that somebody was doing what you were doing specifically to Brandon, with how you were helping him and literally saving his life. It wasn't just about the smile makeover. That was the added benefit, that he got a beautiful smile out of it. But really, you were doing something more than that. You were saving the guy's life. And I was so blown away by that. Even, just because of some things that I've gone through in my personal life, that when I saw that, it caused me to go, you know what, I need to be a part of that. But I was telling my wife that I've done a lot of things, in my life that I think for a lot of people don't make sense. Because in my world, people would say, well, why do that? Why do that? Like you're sort of breaking the rules. But then I meet you and I realize well, that's how you are in a lot of ways. You break a lot of rules in terms of like getting outside the norm, getting outside of what's expected in dentistry. You have kind of almost created this new like wave of the way you interact and treat your patients. It's out of the norm, you know? And so I think that that was in one way how we were in sync, is that we just like to do things maybe out of the norm, out of the box. So
Yeah. I think that we follow the passion, right?
Yes.
And we find the purpose in what we do. And people say, that's not what people do
Yes,
normally.
normally.
But that's what our calling.
yes.
And I think another thing that we connect and feel deeply, impacted is the wellness journey. You have your wellness journey. I had my wellness journey, and you actually witnessed that
Yes.
the whole time. So can you share with our listener and audience about your wellness journey? How did you actually start this? And not just when we met, but long before that.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll go back to something we've heard in one of your podcasts, was someone mentioned like that was like my God moment. Well, when I met you, it was truly a God moment. Like I knew like we needed to partner up in some way. And I had no idea what that was going to look like. But the reason I say that is just to kind of turn the page back. In 2009, I was diagnosed with cancer for the first time. And then 4 years later, I had a relapse in 2013. And then a year into that battle, I had another sort of metastasis, as they call it. And so the cancer spread even further. And so I've gone through chemotherapy. I've done all the things. And over the years, I found myself, of course, I'm here now, I'm well. But over the years, I was struggling with side effects post treatment. It was a pretty challenging time. It wrecked me in a lot of ways, physically and psychologically. And so I found myself in a place of really just sort of rediscovering who I was, what my purpose was, what I needed to do in life. And so I had decided to step away from a trade that I had been doing for a number of years. I was in the kind of the technical world. And so I rediscovered this passion for storytelling, right? For video. And it's something I had always done on the side, just out of a hobby or a passion, but really going through that experience and having to rediscover life, I rediscovered this passion that had always been there. And so at that point, after 2014, turning into 2015, I decided to start doing videography more full time and going after it. Started doing wedding films, and it led from one thing to another and got to do some really cool stuff. But I guess in 2017, as you reminded me, that was the year that Katie and I met. And what's really interesting about that specific year is that I began to realize the journey you were on as well. And I didn't maybe realize it at first, but as you begin to, step into this world of wellness and your wellness journey, I sort of began to realize that I was connected to you for more reasons than just work or video or stories. But there was also an added blessing in that you were subtly, I think, teaching me to dig deeper for what I felt like I was dealing with. And it's still a journey. It's still a process, right? But what I have learned from working with you and getting through my own wellness journey is that it's not so much about the one thing that you need to do that is going to be a quick fix, but it's more about the mindset behind like what you find yourself struggling with. And not being okay with allowing that to be the status quo. And that's what I've learned since being here. If I could put it under one umbrella, one term, it's the mind frame, the mindset behind what you see yourself going through. Do you want to stay there, or do you want to get better? Do you want to, fight your way out of that? And so I'm now married. I have a 3-year-old son, and I thank God for the both of them every day. And truthfully, the reason why I go back to the saying, it was a total God moment, is I truly believe that He paired me with you and sort of had me under your wing to not only help in this area of video, but also then to learn from you of how I can, turn my life around and my health to be better for my wife, for my son. I have energy I've never had before. And is it a struggle? Yeah, there are things that I still wrestle with, and I'm getting through. But as far as where I was to where I am now, it's just a completely different world, day and night, day and night. Yeah.
I think that a lot of people thought like Lewis is so well trained in the wellness dentistry, biological, holistic information. He learned by osmosis.
Yeah.
He was there at all our teaching,
Yes.
all our courses, all our conferences. If you go to conferences and you listen to all the lecture, well, he did that with all the recording. And I remember, especially when we first start out with the seminars of teaching, biological dentistry with the IBDM,
Yes.
I remember the look on your face. You were like, I did not know that's in my water. I did not know that's in my toothpaste. You were so open-minded.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because a lot of time you don't know what you don't know. But
Yeah.
if the first time you hear something like that, you're like, are these people crazy, or is it truth? And I appreciate that you are keep learning
Yes.
and asking questions, and you make changes in your life. And I agree with you. When we first met, it probably just about that charity that connecting us, that like
Yes.
we want to do good in the world. And then we both benefit from, like, when we go through this wellness journey, not only we can help others, but we help ourselves first.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we've been through a lot of major moments. I remember you sit down with your wife and me and Nan in Chicago and say, we're expecting, and we're like, oh, it's so emotional. So it is about, lifelong relationship. And in life, it's not everything is transactional,
Yes.
but the impact we make in everyone's life and each other's life is
Yes.
so huge.
And I'll just say this, I've shared this with you and Dawn, I think a few times now, but your impact in our lives is so deep that we find ourselves like, anytime something happens, especially if it's like health related, and then when we found out we were pregnant, there's always a question right around the corner after that conversation where my wife and I is like, are you gonna tell Katie? Are you gonna tell so that's how, like,
Family.
we're family. That's how personal this has become for us. And so we're very grateful for your leadership and what you do, and the way that you bring awareness to this wellness space. And then not only just awareness, because I think it's one thing to push the information out there, do your best to inform people, but then there's another side of it where you are inspiring people by the way you live your life. And then I think that inspires other people to say, what, I need to dig deeper too. So not just awareness, but action. And so we're very grateful for that. Yeah.
Thank you, Louis. And, I remember Louis probably said, I do a couple projects with Katie, and then I probably do more other things. And you actually do other things. You do documentary. You are follow on amazing international mission trip
Yes.
that take you to places. Can you share with us a little bit about those mission trip that oversee?
Yeah, and yeah, I'll even say we can both say we've traveled the world together too, which is awesome. I've gone to Katie a few different places, I think 3 different countries now, which is pretty awesome. I'm very grateful for those experiences. But yeah, in my personal video stuff, I do work for my church, and so we have locations around the world where we go and partner with nonprofits who are doing like stuff for orphanages, or they're building churches that have been destroyed through war. And so I've been very fortunate to get to go to a few different other countries as well. But truthfully, I even look at those life journeys, and as it pertains to the wellness space, I look at those experiences and I'm so grateful because things I've learned through you. Dr. Katie has literally coached me before I've gone to some of these, even when I've gone to Africa. As we all know, there's a different set of precautions you have to take in third world countries. And so I've even been coached by you and things to look out for and things to be aware of. And so, one thing about Dr. Katie is that I love about you is you're not just going to, again, just inform, but a lot of times you're pointing me in the right direction. You're showing me exactly what I need. But then I've also been giving supplements by you to take and try out, and I've definitely experienced the benefit of the on those trips, and so I'm very grateful for that. Through this wellness journey, I've been able to go do things like that, live out the dream, but in confidence, knowing that like I've taken care of my body, I've done all I can to prepare myself for that. Because obviously, as you know, it can be very rigorous. Sometimes those 19-day all-out sprints to do a documentary, but having the stamina, through things I've learned here has been super, super vital. So very thankful for that. Yeah.
And I know you mentioned that when you were in Africa, when you see this, these kids or these children have no shoes and,
Yes.
they have literally nothing.
Yeah.
But they're so happy and so grateful.
Yes.
That probably a big reminder to us is like, hey, wellness is not just about the physical body.
Yes.
It's also about the gratitude.
That's such a great point, Dr. Katie. And yes, you're so right. Something I have to remind myself of every so often. We would go into these villages, as Dr. Katie mentioned. They have hardly anything. The homes are built with whatever scraps and things that they can find, wood to kind of put something together. But yet when you talk to them, they're the most honoring, respectful, happy, just grateful people, and they have nothing. And so you kind of walk into these spaces thinking like, why am I so ungrateful for this little things I deal with? These people have nothing, and yet they're very content with life because they have each other, and it's something that, it's definitely been very impactful for me and my family. And I think just in helping my worldview, because I think here in America, we do get caught up in that 5% bubble that we live in, right? We make up 5% of the world's population. And so it's real easy to get stuck in that mindset of what we may not have. But as you said, it's not just about this or that. It's a full picture of life, and I think that they have it. And so it's been very awesome to go to those places and be able to bring that home, that perspective home. So
yeah. And I can tell you really enjoy those trips because you keep coming back.
Yeah.
How many trip now with the church?
Yes. So I've gone to Italy 7 times, and then I've gone to Africa 4 times. And then, those in relation to those 2. And then I have 2 more that are on the books for this year. Really looking forward to that. And just bringing that home, sharing that with my wife, with my son, and helping him to see, the world from that lens as well, from all of those aspects. So, yeah.
I do have a fun story to tell because when I met Louis, he did not have a passport. And we said, we're going to have a retreat in Cancun, Mexico.
Yes.
And you do require a passport. And I need you to come and tell the story about, when dentists get together on CE trip, we can really connect beyond the classroom and a lecture and have a retreat together, right? And have fun and work out and yoga sessions and on the beach. And I said, I really want you to document this for the IBDM and then for our group. And he was like, but I don't have passport. I'm like, let's go get it. So we booked the hotel, we booked the flight. I believe you drove to Dallas and get like a same-day passport.
That's right. That's correct.
And that's just beginning because once he got the passport, he traveled, you just heard, Italy 7 times. And like Stockholm and Rome and Africa.
Yes.
Right? And it's like open the gate for your international travel.
Everything in my life changed that year. I'm not joking. Yeah. My wife, and this is like goes back to another reason why you're a very common name in our household. Because of the way I think you stepped out by faith too with us. Knowing I didn't have a passport, but there was something that time where you were like, you know what? You need to be there for this. Like, you're the guy. I need you there. And I'm going to go ahead and
book everything
so that when you go to the passport office, they see that your travel is taken care of, which was one of the requirements. But thankfully, we had that. Yeah. And so, we drove to Dallas with a 2-day notice, got the passport the first thing in the morning, came back, and I think 2 days later we left to Cancun. Yeah. But that year, I believe it was 2019, that year really... it was 2021. 2021.
Yes, I broke my knee. Yeah. I was in wheelchair.
Wow. That's right. In Cancun. That's correct. Yes. That's correct. And so that year, 2021, wow, which is amazing to think that's only really been 5 years.
Right.
But that changed everything for us. I think there was something about there's two things really in my life partnership with you that I thank God for. The first is obviously my health, everything you've shown me from mindset to mind frame, like the framework of how you view health challenges has shifted tremendously for me. And it's still a journey, but it has changed dramatically. And then the second side of that is it's just life, like being willing to step out and do something that might scare you, might seem a little risky, but we're so thankful and grateful that you almost challenged us in that to go for it, to try. And that changed everything. Since 2021, my wife and I say it all the time, like our travel world exploded. But more than just the excitement of like getting to go to these cool places, which there were some really cool ones. Italy, seven times, Sweden, Africa 4 times, Cancun, and then Rome. Yeah. And then a bunch of stuff here domestically. But even more than just the excitement of like these places, it's like what it's done for our worldview. And as you mentioned, the wellness, mindset, how it's not just physical health, but mental health. And it's really brought about this new, I think this new life pattern in our marriage that we maybe didn't have or weren't even thinking of in the early years in that way. And so we're just so grateful that you stepped out by faith, challenged us. We took that challenge and nothing has been the same since. I mean, nothing. So if you're needing some travel in your life, come talk to Katie. She's going to challenge you. She's going to push you to, reach for more and just to see, the world and see life for what it really is. So yeah, we're very grateful for that, Dr. Katie.
For every single new team member that on our team, we're asking them, do you have a passport? Because every year we take our team to international retreat.
Yes, yeah.
And that's like a requirement. You got to have your passport. And sometimes people not, like the way I look at that is like always be ready.
Yes.
Because life can call you, an opportunity fall into your lap and you be like, I don't have a passport. I can't do it.
Yes.
Or you are thinking, I'm going to do it when I'm ready.
Yes.
But you're never going to be ready.
Yes, yeah.
Just jump in and do it. And
I think that there's such almost a life lesson in that. And as what you're saying right now, I think that is so true. We have found ourselves challenging our friends to get a passport.
Yes.
We have asked our friends, do you have one? You need to get one. And even my wife, she tells all her friends, she said, ever since I got one that year, she's like, I never really thought about it. But once I had it, she's like, I felt like it set me free, like mentally.
Yes.
Like to realize like, and again, not about the grandeur of like going to places, but it's just about, like you just said, setting those expectations, like going out and opening your mind to what's possible. So yeah, we're very grateful for that, Dr.
So step up to the challenges.
Yes.
And always be ready.
Yes, always be ready.
No matter you feel ready or not, your life gonna give you opportunity and challenge you.
Yes.
And then you step up to it and it's always good. So I'm so happy you are taking your wife to Italy this spring.
That's correct. So 5 years after that journey started, yes, we are now taking our first trip together, just vacation. But we're so grateful that, what we've been able to experience over the years has led to this moment. My wife just finished she just graduated from nursing school. And so this is our getaway for that, her graduation gift for that. But really, I look back over even the 5 years of that journey starting, and it's really culminated to this. And it's really awesome that, we've kind of we find ourselves in conversations with our family who maybe, have been self-limited by things that they think that they can't do or aren't able to do. But we find ourselves in conversation now, inspiring, like this is possible, step out, challenge yourself, set goals. And so this was a big goal for us. And so we've been planning this one for about a year now, but it's just a few weeks away and we're super, super excited. But all thanks to, again, what you challenged us with 5 years ago. This is pretty awesome story.
And, sitting here, like talking to you about our whole journey, how we got started in 2017 is remind me of that very, frequently I said it to everyone, like no one's sent to anyone by accident.
That's right. Yeah.
So you came into our life, and then we came into your life, and then we came into so many people's life, and there's a reason that person was sent it to you.
Yes. Yeah.
And so either you are deciding, hey, I'm gonna make this a lifelong relationship, support each other, love on each other, and help each other grow, or you're gonna just pass by that person and realize
Yes.
you missed the whole opportunity to know them as a person, collaborate with them,
Yes.
and changing life together.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. No, that's so true. And I mean, no better way to summarize our relationship. Really, looking for, and I think it really goes back to like what you put out there. Like you're going to receive that, and I look at what you were already doing here, and it's so cool how I look at your world and your family and your life here, and because of what I've seen you put into people here, I also have seen like God has sent you people to come along that journey with you as well. And so it's been really cool from my perspective over 9 years to see this evolution and this whole world, come to life here in your office and in your family. So yeah.
I think you put it in a much better way than I put it, because I always tell the dentists that I'm coaching and teaching, I said, you first have to believe that
Yes.
there's good people that come into your team.
Yes.
But the moment you said there's no one good out there, guess what? There's no one going to come.
Yes.
So there's no one that good going to come to join your team. So I'm a strong believer in, like, if you want something in life, you have to believe that you're going to have it, and you're going to be able to do it. And then everything else, being open-minded and receiving and be ready,
Yes.
even when you're not.
Yes.
I
would go as far as saying, I think that that's one of the reasons why my wife and I are in the season we're stepping into right now with her finishing nursing school. She's been working at the hospital for the past 8 years, but she's always had this dream to become a nurse. And really over the past just few years, we found ourselves in that position of having to decide, do you continue on with this as we grow our family, or do you step out of what you've been comfortable with? Do you put it out there? In other words, like go after it. And a lot of what, as cheesy as it may sound, a lot of what I've learned from you and doing life with you over the past 9 years, I've also found myself pouring that into my wife, like seriously encouraging her to go for more, to, if we're going to have to go down to one income for this season so you can go reach that goal and step out by faith, that's what we have to do, because we know it's going to set us up for the future. And so, we're just, again, so grateful for you and your leadership and your, the way you've inspired us, even in the times that, we've had to, or we've gotten to do one-on-ones at lunch or, at dinner with the family, and it's been very inspiring, very encouraging. So again, yes, thank you for your leadership. It's really meant a lot to us.
Thank you, Louis. And this episode been like overdue, because I was like, I really want to sit down, not just about review our journey, but let people know that there's a lot of messages in life, right?
Yes.
No one sent to anyone by accident.
Yes.
Be ready before you're ready.
Yes.
And willing to say yes to challenges.
Yes.
Because you never know what that's going to take you. But we always ask our guests, what is like the 3 wellness non-negotiable every day that you do? And so far, you also been recording these podcasts for us. You notice nobody answer the same thing.
Yes.
So I'm excited to hear your 3 wellness practices that you consider non-negotiable for you in your life.
Yes, absolutely. Great question. I'll start out with some more practical supplements that I'm doing right now, because I've been seeing really incredible benefits from. One of the things I do every night is I take ZMA, which is zinc, magnesium, aspartate. And it's a sports recovery supplement, but just in the nature of what I do, not only with filming, but with editing, it can be very taxing on the body. It can kind of like tense up being, in front of a screen sometimes throughout all day. And so it's really helped me to just relax and sort of let go. There are certain projects for me that stay in my mind, and as a creative, you're constantly thinking of ideas and ways to do things. And so it's really helped me to let go and recover in that way, and get some really good quality sleep, which is everything, right?
That's right.
And then the second thing that I've done, actually just over the past few weeks, we've been talking a lot about today, is creatine.
Yes.
Creatine is a big my eyes are just wide open right now with creatine. I'm not going to claim to know it all, but I've done enough reading to know that it is the most studied.
And you experience it yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm experiencing the benefits of it right now, and just the alertness I have in the morning, and it's really incredible. So creatine is non-negotiable right now. I'm putting my wife on it as well.
Yes.
And then my third supplement, my third go-to, particularly because of my health situation, is vitamin C. So I do take my Live On vitamin C packets. Amazon's at my house on the dot every 3.5
Auto
weeks. So that is a non-negotiable in our home. My wife, especially being in the nursing field, and so just keeping our immune system healthy, strong, and especially when we travel, right? It's a non-negotiable. So yeah, those are my three go-tos right now. So
yeah, and I actually noticed the difference. And I remember like one time we were at the conference and you put me out on the side. You're like, I feel like day and night, and I love that.
Yes.
I love that because people, hear that it worked, but you have to see if it's
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is like experience it.
Yes, go after it. Yep, try it and see what works for you. But yeah, those are my three currently. So
awesome. Louis, thank you so much. I know you have to get behind the cameras again. This is the first time Louis in front of the camera sharing the story, but I think this is way overdue. People always ask me, like, how'd you get 2 minutes?
yes, thank
Seem
you.
like your family and you know each other so well. This is why. So this is episode for you. Telling that you don't have to work with everyone by just transaction and then
Yes.
done with it. You actually can build lifelong friendship, relationship, and they support your vision. And also, you never know how much the impact that you have. Just like Louis said about he bringing what he learned here for his personal health and his wife, his family, his friends.
Yeah.
Right. And now we're working with Angel. Like
Yes.
we just love the connections and the gift that keep on giving in our life. And so, really take a moment and think about who's in your life, and what relationship you need to invest it in. And don't be afraid to say yes to those challenge before you're even ready for any of that. And so, Louis, thank you so much. And we would love for you to follow Louis' journey, especially those international overseas. I always want to see those footage. It's really cool.
Awesome.
So how do our listener and audience can follow your journey and reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my Instagram, like most people, it's Louis, LOUIS .Olvera, OLVERA. And there I post some film journey stuff, some documentary work from time to time. And so, yeah, that's where you can find me. So,
yes.
Thank you, Dr. Katie.
You're welcome. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening today. Wellness starts in your mouth and includes your entire life. When you understand that, the whole game changes. Come learn more at thewellnessdentist.com. We see you in the next episode. And remember, there is always a reason to smile.